After generating multiple seven figures with 2 coaching businesses online, this is why you need to be taking sales calls. I'm gonna give you 5 key reasons why sales calls are the lifeline to your business. And no, it's not just because that's where you collect cash. It is a very, very important thing that you should be doing early on in your offer to make sure that your offer is well fit for your audience. Number 1 is that sales calls give you free market research. You have the ability through social media to drive active conversations from your stories, which can turn into sales calls. Now, before you have an offer, or maybe when the offer is in its earliest stage, this is your opportunity to get in front of your audience and truly understand what their needs and pain points are. The more we can understand the needs of our audience and their pain, the better we can provide solutions to solve that pain. Sales calls offer us a gateway into our audience. It's an opportunity for us to understand them, to connect with them, and potentially offer partnership opportunities to them. When I think of a sales call, the structure you should be following is past. That is, what have they gone through in the past? What pain are they suffering from in the past? How have they tried to solve that pain in the past? To the present, what are they doing today that isn't working? To the future, where would they like to be in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months? You want them to be able to articulate exactly where they would like to get to. Next, what is the cost of inaction? That is, if they do not get there in 3 months, 6 months, and 12 months, what will it cost them? Physically, emotionally, financially. If we can understand what the cost of inaction is, and just know that with every decision, there is an opportunity cost. There is always a cost. We are not benchmarking against zero versus the price of your offer. There are 2 costs. The cost of not taking action and the price of what your offer costs today. Lastly, if it is right, and remember, we do not have to offer to everyone, only if it is right and we do feel well fit to solve their pain points and their problems, then we can offer partnership. So past, present, future, cost of inaction, and partnership. Following that, you are going to have an amazing opportunity of market research. As you build your offer, as you refine your fulfillment and your marketing, you should be staying incredibly close to your sales function. The reason being is they are essentially on the front line. They sit on the front line of your offer and they understand the exact pain points of your audience. The better you can understand your audience, the better you can provide services to solve their biggest pain points. Next is that taking sales calls in the early days is about building confidence and conviction. We want to make sure that not only is the offer a great match for our audience, but we are set to fulfill it. The more we can understand our audience, the more we can get in front of them, the more confidence and conviction we have that we have the right service to provide for them. If we don't, it gives us an opportunity to pivot and change our offer for them. This is part of the belief that will get distilled in you after taking many sales calls. Sales calls in the beginning are stressful, they are uncomfortable, and for a lot of us, it is something that we want to avoid. But I highly, highly recommend that you build conviction and confidence through taking many sales calls. Sales calls in the beginning always suck, and it is a new skill that you are developing, but by definition, the difficulty of developing that skill is what makes it valuable on the other side. The third is that sales calls are like a dynamic landing page. They offer us an opportunity to vet, mold, and understand our audience member and the lead that is coming through as they come into the call. An example I give is, think of a landing page. Now, a landing page has many components, but its goal is to have copy that speaks exactly to the avatar that is coming through. In a sales call, you are the dynamic landing page. You can adjust, you can move, and you can change the copy depending on the avatar that is coming through. The more we understand that avatar and the more we understand how to speak to that avatar, the more effective we are going to be in those sales calls. Use these sales calls as a dynamic landing page before you spend time building an actual landing page. The beauty of creating offers online is that you do not need to spend thousands of dollars with UI UX website designers. Instead, you can have a simple funnel. Content, Instagram story, to DM, to sales call. We don't even need a website to begin, and this is something that we should build after we've taken a bunch of sales calls and downloaded the transcripts to understand what is the highest converting copy that speaks directly to our avatar. Again, this is about building out our copywriting skills, and it gives us a dynamic landing page experience where someone comes in and we treat them as an individual user that we can adapt and mold copy to on the call. Once we see what works, we can take these transcripts and put them into something less dynamic and more hard-coded. If you're wondering how to get a transcript from your sales call, I recommend having Fathom or TLDV join your call. These are accounts that you can make separately. They join your call as an AI note taker, and it gives you a downloadable transcript. I highly recommend doing this while you are taking sales calls because this is the best opportunity to learn. It also records the call, both your successful and unsuccessful sales calls. You should watch back, you should take notes, and this is a great way to improve when you're early on your sales journey. Next is that you do not know the value of your offer until you know the audience member coming in. Part of building a high ticket offering is that you get paid based on the value that you provide. Value in itself is subjective. Come back to the value equation of the goal desired outcome multiplied by the perceived likelihood of achievement from the client's perspective over the time delay multiplied by the effort and sacrifice to get there. We want to maximize the top two and minimize the bottom two. Remember that value is subjective. Therefore, with each lead, with each potential client that we get on a sales call with, we have an opportunity to maximize this value equation. With the right offer, we should be charging the highest possible price and delivering the most valuable service for each lead and client. The more we can understand the individual circumstances of each client, the more we can maximize the value and therefore the price that we charge. An example I'll give is I used to sell $50 programs. I used to have a landing page and a website set up on Shopify. A potential lead would come in, buy the $50 program. I'd go, great, $50 in my bank account. What I didn't know, because there wasn't a dynamic landing page like a sales call, was how much pain was this person in? Did they actually have $1,500 to solve this problem? And did they need a more tailored, a more customized approach that went beyond the $50 plan that I was providing? Now, if I fast forward and that person goes through with the $50 plan and they don't get the result because at $50 they get 6 weeks in and they throw in the towel because it's $50, or they feel that it's not customized to their needs, because hypothetically they don't have access to certain gym equipment, but they bought a fixed $50 program because that's what I've serviced at that price point, they're not going to get the result that they want. As a result, it reflects badly on myself, and they also don't see the value in the purchase despite it being $50 because they wanted to get the outcome, which was getting in better shape, and that was not achieved. Now we rewind and we go back to a dynamic landing page, aka a sales call. I have an opportunity to understand that they don't have access to certain gym equipment, that maybe they have a shoulder that's being rehabilitated, that previously they've lacked accountability and that's where they normally fall off, and they actually need a diet plan as well. Because of this dynamic landing page and a better understanding of their needs and biggest pain points, I can customize the offer on the spot and I can design a program that will get them to their end result. As a result, I charge more for this customization at $1,500, but the outcome they get is far greater. This is the difference between a dynamic and a static landing page. It is very tempting early on to go low ticket and go to these static landing pages where we just put a program up there for 12 weeks, but we have no interaction with each lead and potential customer that comes through. We should be thinking how we can put ourselves in front of that client and better understand their needs. The more we can do this, the more dynamic our offer becomes, and the more value we can provide, hence the more we get paid for our service. Lastly, taking sales calls early on gives you an opportunity to one day delegate. I would highly recommend that you get the reps in every single role and function of your business before you bring in anyone to take over. Now, granted, where I am today, I know that there are better salespeople out there. And fortunately, in the land of remote closers, I know that they take a fixed percentage based on their ability to sell. This is something that you only want to delegate once you have taken a bunch of sales calls yourself. To build SOPs, standard operating procedures for a team, and to bring people under you to delegate these sales calls to, you need at least a basic understanding of the skill and function. I would highly recommend that you get your reps in, not only to drive your confidence and conviction of your own offer, but also your ability to sell your offer as well. The more you can understand your audience in the early stage, the more ability you are going to have to better craft your offer to maximize the amount of value you can deliver for them. Once you have this and are now wearing multiple hats in your business across marketing, content creation, sales calls and DM setting, and fulfillment, looking after the clients that you sell in, then you can look to delegate positions. For me, sales was the first function that I delegated in because it was the lowest leverage for my time. I knew that sitting on sales calls was not worth my time compared to the 10% I could pass to a closer if it meant I could have more time for marketing, aka content creation. This would drive more leads into my business and give my closer more opportunity to close clients into my business. As this scales, this gives me an opportunity to actually grow the business. Marketing remains working on the business while a sales function is working in the business. Decide where you want to sit, but I would highly recommend that you prioritize marketing and fulfillment as the areas where you focus on most, and sales you delegate to some of the trained sales professionals out there. This is only a skill that I'd recommend delegating once you have learned the basics. Otherwise, it is very difficult to assess the quality of the sales team that you are bringing on. Bottom line is, when you are starting out, I highly recommend that you take sales calls and provide a dynamic landing page experience to better understand the small audience that you have and best serve them with as much value as possible, meaning that you can get paid as much as possible for your services. The pendulum begins to swing the other way the larger you get. This is where you need a more scalable operation and may move to static landing pages. Again, I highly recommend you start with high ticket and you provide the best possible service to solve your clients' problems. The reason being is, when you begin, you have a smaller audience to market to, and therefore you want to be solving the problems at an individual level. You compete with personalization early on. The bigger guys, the players that have hundreds of thousands or millions of followers, can be less personal. They can direct people to links. They don't have to go via DM. They don't have to answer with voice note because of the sheer volume that they are dealing with. When you have less leads, compete by being personable and personalization. That is, customizing your offer to those exact needs of that client and over-delivering on your service so you can build up testimonials and great results to drive more leads into your business. Sales calls are not optional in 2025. They are a lifeline to your business, and I highly recommend you get as many reps in as possible. Like content creation, it is a skill that needs to be refined over time. If I was learning the skills that would build a 7-figure business again, I would prioritize marketing, aka content creation, how to build viral and engaging content, sales, how to then convert the audience that you have built with your marketing into clients, and refine your fulfillment, your ability to deliver your product and service at a high quality at scale. If you want to learn 1 or 2 or all 3 of these skills, then click the link below. I'm going to leave a link to our mini course, which steps through in greater detail a free guide on marketing, sales, and fulfillment.